In this video, we will learn the concept of general purpose registers. So our in 8086 base system, we have a different general purpose registers are available like AX, BX, CX and DX. We have already seen this structure in our internal architecture. So the size of our AX, BX, CX and DX is 16-bit. Because we have already learned this concept in our features of our microprocessor system, that is 8086 is having 16 bit of general purpose register. So there are total 4 general purpose registers. The first one is AX, that is accumulator. So this accumulator is used for storing the result of our operation. So whatever the result will be there after performing the operations, that will be stored into accumulator. The size of the accumulator is 16-bit. That is our AX register. If we are dividing this AX into two different parts, that is 8-bit and 8-bit, then we get our two registers, that is AH and AL. Same likewise, we can also divide our BX register, that is BH and BL. CX can be divided as CH and CL. And DX can be divided as DH and DL. So we have total 4 16-bit registers, that is AX, BX, CX and DX. And we have total 8-bit registers, that is AH, AL, BH, BL, CH, CL and DH and DL. So the size of the register is 8-bit. According to the size of the operation, we are using that register in our assembly language programming. So the first register AX is used for performing the operation, and after performing the operation, the result will be stored in that accumulator. The second register BX is used for storing the base address of our instruction. For example, this is our code and this code is having some instruction. Once we have to store address of that particular instruction, that is our base address, so that base address will be stored in that BX register. CX is used for counter as well as for loop operation. In C programming, we are using I++, J++, so the counter will be incremented. But here we cannot write I++, J++ in assembly language programming. So that we have to use this counter, that is CX register. For 16-bit we can use CX, but if we are performing the operation with the 8-bit, that time we are using CH and CL. And we can increment the counter with the help of INC instruction, and our name of our counter will be CX. Then DX is used for pointer for data in our input-output operation. In some of the cases, we are performing the 16-bit with the 16-bit of operation and the size of the AX register will be full already. That time we are using this DX:AX. That is our 32-bit of data will be stored into first of all in AX register and then later on in that DX register. For example, we have the number that is 1010, then 2030. This is our whole 16-bit number and that number will be stored in DX:AX. That is our last 4 digit will be stored in that AX register and the first 4 digit will be stored in that DX register. So DX is appended with our AX register once the size of our accumulator will be full after performing the operation, and after storing the result into AX register, if require the DX register, then DX register is also used for storing the result of the operation. Now we will cover the concept of our index and the pointer register. So the index registers are source index, destination index, base pointer and the stack pointer. Suppose consider that we have two strings. Our source string is ABCD and our destination string is PQRS. These Strings are stored at our memory location, that is source string is stored from 10 to 14th memory location, and the starting location of our source string is 10 and the starting location of our destination string is 21. So our source index and destination index, which is used for pointing the starting location of our source string and the destination string. Source index is used for starting the memory location of our source string. It will point the address that is 10, and our destination index will point our starting location of our destination string, that is 21. So SI and DI is used for locating the starting location of our source string and the destination string. The third register is base pointer register. It is used for storing the address location which is pointed by our BX register. And the last one is the stack pointer. Whenever we are performing the push and pop operation in our assembly language programming, that time we are using that concept of stack pointer for taking the data from the stack. Here in this diagram, the instruction pointer is given. So what instruction pointer can do? Suppose consider that this is your programming instructions are there, and each and every instruction is having their own address. Suppose address starts from 1010, the next address is 1020, then 1022, 1025, 1026. So these are the random locations are there that I have taken. So what instruction pointer can do? Suppose our execution starts from this 1010 location. Then instruction pointer will store the address that is 1010. After executing this instruction, it will point to the next instruction. Then this location address will be updated and it will become 1020. If suppose we are using the jumping instruction in that 1020 location, address is jump to the 1025 location. That time it will updated it into 1025. So what this instruction pointer can do? It will locate the memory location which instruction is to be currently executed. So whatever the instruction is currently being executed, that will be pointed by our instruction pointer. So in this video, we have covered the general purpose registers, pointer registers, index registers, and our instruction pointer register. In the next two videos, we will learn in detail that is segment register and the flag registers.